Context changes everything. The next generation of Wall Street
good morning.
is here. What could be the story of the century? Bloomberg's
TGIF.
Stories of capitalism, from business, markets, economics.
Oh boy, what a week.
We'll check in on a World Bank development project, the story of higher education. We'll go to Silicon Savannah in Nairobi. Each week,
welcome to the Random Guy podcast.
What lies behind the headlines of today?
Well, we have coffee,
the headlines tomorrow.
and we talk about whatever it's on anybody's mind.
Food is inclusive. Food doesn't really discriminate.
The hardest business to change is one that's succeeded for a long time.
Got Bloomberg Radio on here, guys. They got their usual ad around 5:20 a.m.
More than what you need to know, it's what you
Random Guy podcast comes on 5:20 a.m. during the week. Not on a daily basis, but whenever I have a moment. And we're live for about a half hour, 40 minutes or so.
Bloomberg Radio. Context changes everything.
I don't waste people's time with sleep streams and shit like that.
And get to the very bottom of an important topic. We establish
dead air.
context for a story, and we try to answer questions instead of just raising them. I'm Brad Stone, editor of Bloomberg Business Week. We take on the most
I got the
consequential
Post here.
and global stories and give them the focus,
Washington
time,
Post.
and substance that they and you deserve.
Let me turn it around, guys, so you guys can see the actual front view of the Post. So this is the story.
Headlines and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com.
The feds recommend drop.
George, and I think that's fair for
Thank you, my dear green thing. How are you?
Fair for India.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to call it a weekend, guys.
Education, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the EPA.
Yeah, I was just saying, this is the Random Guy podcast. I'm here during the weeks, 5:20 a.m. for a half hour, 40 minutes. I don't waste people's time with dead air and shit. You know, if we talk, we talk. I try to get to everybody's comment. Wheelie. Good morning, Wheelie. Jesus is the one and true King.
Now, a look at the front pages.
The front pages.
Your daily roundup
Eric
of
Adams.
today's headlines from major publications.
Coming up on 524 on Wall Street, I'm Nathan Hager. I'm with Karen Moscow on a Friday morning. Finally made it to Friday. So let's check the front pages.
Let's see what they talk
with
about.
Bloomberg's Lisa Mateo. While we get ready for this meeting between Vice President Vance and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the Munich Security Conference, Lisa, the Wall Street Journal ahead of it has released an exclusive interview with the Vice President. It's got some pretty tough words for Russia. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. He sure does. So Vance said that the U.S. would hit Moscow with sanctions and possibly military action if Russian President Vladimir Putin would not agree to a peace deal with Ukraine. That guarantees Kyiv's long-term independence. Now, he also said the option for sending U.S. troops to Ukraine if Moscow failed to negotiate in good faith remained, quote,
well, look, if it's legal,
think about it, That's a stronger tone than what
You know,
Defense Secretary Pete Hegg said.
I don't care.
He said that the
I don't
US
smoke it.
wouldn't commit forces. But Vance
If
said,
you
quote,
guys smoke it, that's fine.
a deal that is going to come out of this that's going to shock a lot of
I know
people.
that
And as you said,
there are
Vance is
medicinal
scheduled to speak
purposes
today at
for
the
it,
Munich Security Conference.
but it's like you need to be careful with it, certainly, because it does impair your abilities, to drive and do these sorts of things. So you just got to be careful.
Sources telling the New York Times it's Joe Gebbia. He is a close friend of Elon Musk.
Benjamin, good morning.
Member of Tesla. He lives in
Sniffing
Austin,
coke.
where Musk keeps this large compound,
Okay.
But it's not
Try
clear what
coffee,
Gebbia
my
will do
brother.
or how formal his role is
Coffee
gonna be.
works too.
Until recently, he was
and energy
a
drinks.
donor, but he said his politics have kind of shifted toward Republicans, mostly because of the
That's my
advocacy of
recommendation.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He
Message
does
held for
remain on
review.
Airbnb's board. He also has a stake in the NBA San Antonio Spurs.
Resell.
Again, not clear what he's going to be doing or how formal that's going to be, but he'll be a part of it.
Why do you look like a constipated, depressed cat? Well, let me ask you a question, Lisa. Why do you hide your face?
One of its customers. But what this
I
is,
mean,
it
what
goes
do you
against
look
the
like?
SoftBank-owned
Do
company
you look like
business
Jabba
model
the
because
Hutt?
They usually license their blueprints to the likes of Apple and Nvidia.
Do you have,
What's more, the Financial Times says it could also upend
you
the fact
mentioned
the patent
cats.
in the semiconductor
Do you have
industry
like
because
70
it
cats
puts arm
living
into
with you
competition
and
with some of its
cat
biggest
feces and
customers.
piss all
But
over your
SoftBank's
house?
founder, Masayoshi Son, he has put ARM kind of in the center of his plans to build this.
I'm handsome in real life. Well, then put your picture up,
And
bro.
sources are saying making this chip, well, that would be the
Don't be
first step in
afraid.
its larger plans to move into AI
You come
chip
on somebody's
production.
channel and you
So how
start
it's gonna work,
shitting all
sources say
over it,
it's expected to be a central
without showing your
processing unit
face,
and
you're a
CPU
fucking
for
coward,
servers in
dude.
large data centers, and it's built on this.
I don't mind,
that will be
you trying to
customized
troll if
for
you're funny,
clients,
but,
clients like Meta.
with faceless trolls are fucking cowards in my book.
Semiconductor
Don't be a coward. Stand behind your words.
It's an Oracle-based chip designer of ARM-based chips.
Good morning,
for
Lane.
servers, but this is just the first in-house chip. It's expected to be unveiled.
By the
as
way,
early
don't
as
do
this
drugs
summer,
or
that's
else you'll
according to
die,
sources.
Benjamins.
All right, Lisa Mateo, sounds good. Thank you for checking the.
Well, we all die.
I mean, morning, up next to the latest on
we're all
President
one day
Trump's
closer to
plan for
death today than we were
reciprocal
yesterday.
tariffs.
Even the
Plus,
trolls,
USAID gets
even the
a
faceless trolls are
lifeline
one
from a
day closer to
federal
death.
judge. It's all coming up in our 5:30 news on a day when S&P futures are a little changed, and so are NASDAQ futures, and Dow futures are down 0.2%. 10-year Treasury little change, the yield 4.52%.
So, Lisa, how long have you been doing this lame trolling? I mean, how's that working out for you, bro?
A barrel. Now,
I mean, resell seems to imply you do some reselling. You do some side hustling. That's always good. Why do you resort to trolling people that you don't know?
Today in the Houston area due to scattered showers, high temperatures are going to be near 60.
What the dealio?
Boston watch for delays as the day goes on due to gusty winds.
I'm trying to understand you.
32. We also see a few delays in the San Francisco area today, where there's going to be scattered morning showers. Highs near 50.
What's happening this morning, Lane Frost? Well, New York City Eric Adams cut a quid pro quo deal with Trump about these migrants. Get these charges dropped against him, so he'll round them up. I mean, that's how these guys roll, man. They have no loyalty to anything. This guy's a Democrat. They're saying in here that he's going to run on the Republican ticket, even. They're all jumping on the Trump bandwagon, these people.
U.S. trading. Let's get you up to date on the news you need to know at this hour. President Trump has signed an order to consider reciprocal tariffs on numerous trading partners.
Well, that's good. Cinnamon and nutmeg, always good, yeah.
Tilted against the U.S.
Our allies, in many cases, are worse than our enemies in this, having to do with trade.
So Trump's, he had the Indian Prime Minister yesterday, in the photo op and shit. This was the late afternoon. They got these Indian channels, these like CNN 18 and shit. I don't know where the fuck they're out in New Delhi or someplace. But they were showing like live, and they're showing the Indian guy sitting there, and then there's another live channel showing Kennedy being confirmed. Like, which one of these fucking things is live? I mean, Trump's in both of these. Well, Kennedy was confirmed, Health Secretary. What's her name there? Gabby, whatever the fuck her name is. That woman, with the silver streak. She was confirmed as whatever she was doing. I guess today education secretary. So they're planning on closing down the Department of Education. And the nominee from Trump is Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon is the wife of Vince McMahon, the notorious degenerate wrestling promoter. They're based here in Connecticut, down on the Gold Coast there. And she ran for governor here in Connecticut a few times, lost. As a Republican, you know, this state is all blue, you know. It'd be difficult for any kind of Republican at this point to get it into the governor's office or to get a U.S. Senate seat in Connecticut. It just doesn't happen. I don't have pronouns, Michael. You know, I just go by Stan CT, my first name and my state that I reside in, Connecticut. Another message held for review. What's going on, bro? Resell. Shoes, clothes. Okay, cool. Yeah, you got to have a side hustle. Everybody's got to have a side hustle. I still rail Stephanie. I don't like the bolt-ons, though. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, today's Valentine's Day, so if you and Stephanie getting together, you know, have a good time, bro. Anyway, guys, what I wanted to talk about is side hustles. And one of the side hustles I'm going to be doing full-time once I retire is foreclosures. Okay? Mostly I'm going to be doing the tax delinquent properties because they're easier to deal with than foreclosures. I mean, you see these you know, these channels or these shows on TV sometimes where these people come in, flip and sell, and you know, they make a profit every time. It doesn't work that way, guys. There's a lot of problems you can run into, and anything can go wrong in any kind of deal. And so you need years of experience. You need a good team with you. You need a good general contractor. You need a good, you know, electrician. You need people that, you know, heating. You need people that you can trust to come in and do the job quickly. Rehab the place if you need to rehab it. So you can either rent it out, generate cash flow, or sell it for a profit. So you know, that comes with years of experience. It's not easy starting out in the foreclosure game. I came across a couple of guys here on YouTube. They have a channel called Two Guys Take on Real Estate. And these guys are up in Massachusetts nearby. You know, they do foreclosures in Massachusetts and also northern Connecticut area. Around Enfield, Connecticut, you know, up around the I-91 corridor around there. And so, you know, I haven't crossed paths with these guys because I haven't really taken a good solid look at anything up that part of the state. But I might run into them at a foreclosure auction at some point. Anyway, the book recommendation I have is their book. They wrote this book after being in the business for 15 years or so. And let me switch the camera here. Hold on, guys. Amateur hour. Okay. So here's their book. Foreclosures Unlocked. Two Guys Take on Real Estate. Highly, highly, highly recommend this book. I got the hardcover edition. It comes in paperback also. Get whatever you want to get. You know, it's maybe less than $20 for the paperback. You know, maybe $22 for the hardcover. Whatever your pleasure is. These guys are, in my opinion, are honest on all aspects of the foreclosure game. The mistakes they've made, and God, they've made some fucking doozy mistakes, guys. But they talk about it, and mistakes are learning opportunities. You know, you learn from your mistakes, and hopefully you don't repeat those mistakes. And so if you read a book like this, where you can learn what these guys did wrong starting out, a lot of the stuff that was trial and error with them for, you know, starting out. But these are two guys. They're on the cover here, on the back cover. Matt Tortorello, that's the bald dude there. And the other guy is Kevin Shippey, that's this guy. So these guys met at UMass when they were students. This guy was actually a pre-med. He was going to be a doctor. You know, and this other dude, Kevin, was a salesman, you know, out of college. And, you know, they got tired early on in the rat race. You know, they realized they were never going to get rich, especially Kevin here. You know, Matt started doing houses, buying, selling early on. He tried to get his buddy Kevin into it, and they eventually both got into it, and they have a thriving business going right now, 15 years in. But, you know, since 2008, they've been buying property. Great book. Anybody interested in starting out in the foreclosure game, I recommend you guys take the time to buy this book. It's on Amazon, Foreclosures Unlocked, and read it. Learn what these guys did. Learn from their mistakes so you don't repeat all these giant mistakes they made. You know, and you know, one of the ones early on in the book is, you know, they took on a different partner. You know, they have an LLC, I think, set up. You know, that where they buy the properties and they put the properties in the LLC. But you know, you're doing that, you can't get certain types of loan at, you know, FHA and this sort of thing. And so they took on a partner, a different dude who they didn't really know, to put the property in that guy's name so they could get a cheaper loan, cheaper interest rates, and, you know, use more money to make more money. And this guy blew him off. He started ripping him off, and then he claimed the houses were his. They had to take this guy to court and foreclose on their own property. And it took them a couple years to get their houses back. But that's a major mistake they made early on. But they learned from it, and they're certainly never going to repeat that. You know, so you guys got to read a book like this. It's relatively fresh. I think it was written maybe, I don't know, a couple years ago. Still good, still fresh information. Definitely check it out if you're interested in learning about the foreclosure business. Let's see what else we got here. It's a heck of a retirement job, yeah. I mean, the easier of the two between tax delinquent properties and foreclosures, in my opinion, is the tax delinquent properties. Every state's different. Connecticut is what's called a redeemable deed state. Somebody doesn't pay the taxes on their property. Usually it's older people that own the property. The mortgage is paid off. When you have a mortgage on a property, the taxes are always included in the monthly mortgage payment, right? Because the bank doesn't want to lose the property, you know, their interest in the property. And so once the mortgage is paid off, people are supposed to pay their own taxes. You know, responsible people do, but sometimes people don't. They forget, or they get sick, they die, the house sits vacant, and the property tax is not paid. The town takes the property and they auction it off. They do a redeemable deed. What that means in Connecticut is there's an auction. You bid on the property. You know, say the taxes are, you know, 2 years of taxes, maybe $12,000. Usually that's the minimum bid. This could be a $300,000 house where you're bidding $12,000 on it. You're starting. Now, it's unusual to get that kind of deal. You get you pay $20,000 and you get a $300,000 house. It happens occasionally, but not very often. Often you're paying, maybe some percentage of the value of the house. If it's dilapidated in some regard, you need to factor in how much it's going to cost to repair this property if you're going to flip and sell it. You could just be looking for a property to buy and live in. In that case, you might bid a little more than everybody else. You might bid up to 80% of the value of the house, knowing that you're going to keep it. You're going to take your time fixing it up. That there's all different things you can do with property. What I do with tax redeemable deeds is I once the property is, well, let me take a step back. What is a redeemable deed? A redeemable deed is somebody wins the deed to the house. Redeemable deed means the owner still has 6 months to pay the new, the winner of the bid, everything they've paid plus 1.5% interest up to 6 months, and they retain the property. Most of these things actually happen that way, where you get a redeemable deed that you win. The owners somehow come through within those 6 months, and they pay you with interest. So it's your investment in a redeemable deed is secured by the property. So it's very safe, right? Most of them get paid. The ones that don't get paid are the one after 6 months plus a day or whatever, the deed is recorded in your name or your entity or whoever purchases the property. You have the property. In most cases, the mortgage is extinguished. Not all cases, though. So you need to do due diligence and make sure, this nice house that's worth, $250,000 doesn't have a fucking $400,000 mortgage attached to it that needs to be paid. I've seen that. You go to this auction thinking you're going to get a deal, and then the municipality conducting the auction says, well, the mortgage needs to be paid. Whatever conditions. The mortgage is not extinguished. So, like, why would you do that? Why would you buy a $250,000 property for knowing that you have to pay a $400,000 mortgage? Nobody buys that. What happens is these properties end up being owned by the banks. Those are called REOs, real estate owned. That's a whole different. That's like a post foreclosure bank ownership. A lot of banks now, what they're doing is they're packaging these REOs and selling them to big investment firms. So in many cases, the owners still live there. They don't even evict these people. They just have them living there, and because they know they're at least doing some type of maintenance to the property. It's not always good. I mean, most cases you're going to have to do some rehab in these properties, but that's what I'm going to be doing when I retire, guys. I'm going to be playing that game. And a book like this, Foreclosures Unlocked, is a good starting point for anybody interested in this sort of thing. Highly recommend this book. So let me see what else is happening here in the chat. Got a few minutes here still. My cousin gave me stuff. I can feel my face. I do resell. Okay. I mean, all politicians seem to be corrupt a bit at this point. Yes, I agree. You got Mitch McConnell there, for example. These senators, where they make $200,000 something a year salary. Yet, you look at their net worth, and the man's worth $87 million. How the fuck is that possible? You know, they're all getting kickbacks, all these people. That's why they don't want to leave, you know. You get like, who was that lizard woman out in California there recently that died? She was like, Feinstein, is that her? You see her at the end of her days, man? Just, she literally looked like a fucking iguana, dude. I'm not kidding. They refuse to leave, man, because the grift is so great there, man. It doesn't pay for them not to sit there and grift. Why would they want to give their secrets to the world and create? You know what? Because why not? They're selling a book, guys. You know, they're making some money off of this. The thing I like about these two guys, here, is they're actually doing what they say they're doing. You know, they're actually in the business. You check out their channel, Two Guys Take on Real Estate. They're out on the streets doing the business. They're doing this. They're not just selling a course, a seminar, like a lot of these other real estate people are. You know, that's where you got to be careful with these real estate gurus. If you see that they're making most of their revenue doing seminars and this sort of thing, they're not actually doing what they say they're doing. You got to be careful with those people. These guys are doing what they say they're doing. They're buying houses. They're buying rental properties. They're building a little empire for themselves. You know, they both bought foreclosed houses that they live in. You know, they're living the American dream right now. As depressing as America is now, as hopeless as it seems for much of the younger generation, here are two guys, you know, maybe 40 years old. They're probably already multimillionaires, right? Net value. They're making it in this country. There are ways to succeed if you know how to do what you need to do. You know, you can't give up and black pill yourself into thinking everything sucks and I'm gonna be living in my car the rest of my life. You know, there are ways out of this fucking rat race. You don't want to lose your... Oh, I know, bro. I mean, there are even easier ways than tax liens and deeds to invest in real estate. You can invest in real estate investment trust, REITs, REITs. I mean, there's one where the most well-known one is ticker symbol O. Check it out. I mean, I've got shares of that. Pays a monthly dividend. Happy Friday, Putty Cat. Yeah. Good morning, Bradley. My battery's dead, so I'm up extra. Oh, wow, that sucks, bro. Yeah, happy Friday. Research and due diligence pays off. Yeah, definitely. If you're in this real estate game, you got to do it, man. You could get burned for hundreds of thousands of dollars if you don't do your due diligence. How did Nancy Pelosi get so wealthy? Well, they all got wealthy. Bernie Sanders got wealthy. You know, every one of these fucking people, AOC, everybody. You know, you look at their net worth going in, and whenever they retire, you look at their net worth and you wonder, you fucking shake your head. How did this happen? Grifting, you know, they send money to some corporation in their state to set up some fucking solar whatever bullshit thing. They get put on the board of directors. They get a cut. That's how that shit works, guys. Christopher, boxer. You have to be careful with these real estate gurus. Most of them are a scam, yeah. The only problem with REITs is it is ordinary dividends tax. Yeah, that's true. You gotta know, yeah. I should have said that. But, you know, guys, check out Foreclosures Unlocked. It's on the thumbnail. And check out these guys' channel. 2 Guys Take on Real Estate. Just type that in the search box. You'll get their channel. Excellent channel. These guys are legit. They're not phonies, you know. They're not selling seminars. They're out on the streets doing this day in, day out. You know. Follow them. They have cool shorts, you know, they go to an auction and you know, you see a piece of shit house that's worth maybe $80,000, and then, you know, the opening bid is $350,000, and everybody starts walking away. You know, the bank doesn't want to take their haircut on these things. That's the way it is, though. You know, you go to these auctions, most of the time you're walking away. You're not getting the property. So anyway, guys, I got a half day today. I got 6 to 10. I stayed home yesterday. The roads were icy in the morning, so I had my laptop with me, and I got a lot of work done. I was not interrupted constantly. Wrote up a lot of my reports. I think I have like 4 more reports to do to get caught up completely. And I got to make a couple payments to people. And I should be able to knock all this out in the 4 hours that I'm working. And then going down to New Haven area, pick up my dogs, bring them back home. Then I got something going on this afternoon. Yeah. So hope everybody has a great weekend, guys. Thanks for popping in here to chit chat a little bit. I'm going to call it early here, about a half hour in. I want to fill up the gas tank because I got a little bit of a ride after work. And everybody have a great weekend, man. Enjoy yourselves. And check out Foreclosures Unlocked, the book on Amazon. And check out the YouTube channel, 2 Guys Take on Real Estate. All right? It's a great channel, and these guys are legit, making a killing, really. I mean, they're succeeding where many people are just giving up the American dream. They're living the American dream, man. It's still possible. All right, guys, take care. Much love, everybody.